Alright, YouTube, welcome to another video. And today I'm doing a video of the Victorinox Trekker versus the Leatherman Signal. And the reason I'm doing this video is because I had a chance to actually use these two at work today. And I'm going to tell you what happened. Alright, I'm a security guard, so I carried this Victorinox Trekker in my cargo pants with the pocket clip that I put on here. Okay, this is my main blade pocket knife that I use at work. This Leatherman Signal I carry in my work EDC pouch. Okay, so what happened was the table that I use to examine bags and packages and stuff before it leaves the facility or enters the facility. The frame at the bottom of the leg came out, it broke, okay? So I wanted to fix it, so I needed some nails. And there was no nails in the facility. So I walked around the facility and found some pallets. So I went to a broken up pallet, and sure enough, there's nails inside the pallet. So I was trying to pry the nails out with this, and I used quite a bit of force to try to pry the nails out of the pallet. And surprisingly, this flat tip screwdriver / pry tool can opener, not can opener, bottle lifter on this Victorinox Trekker held up pretty well. I've used a lot of force. It didn't cause the pry tool to come loose or bend or anything like that. It held up pretty good. I used a lot of force, but it wasn't enough to actually pry the nails out. Okay, so what I did was I sawed the pallet up a little bit so I could have a way to pull the nails from the main frame of the pallet, the plank, so that way I can access the nails. And once I did, I was kind of stuck. The nails were exposed, but there was no way to really pry the rest of the nail out or pull it out. So at that point, the Victorinox Trekker pretty much was useless at that point. It had helped me cut up the pallet in order for me to pull the remaining plank out and expose the nail, but there was no way to actually pull the nail out or even reverse hammer the nail out of the plank. So I reached into my pouch and got the Leatherman Signal out, and I tried to pull the nail out with and these were pretty long nails. They were about 2.5 inches long, maybe almost 3 inches long nails. And I tried to pull the nail out of the plank, and it wasn't quite doing it. So what I did was I actually used the pommel end of the signal to reverse hammer the nail, and it sure enough, the nail then was easy to come out, and I was able to pull the rest out with this plier. And then when I went to go nail the salvage nails into the broken table leg, I used this end here to hammer the nail in, and it surprisingly worked okay. I got the nail in about almost 1 inch in, and then I hammered it so the exposed nail would bend forward to actually stay put and not and the exposed nail be bent inward so that way it wouldn't snag on anybody walking by or anything like that. So I'm going to show you a picture of basically what I did, the end result. I'm sorry I didn't videotape the whole ordeal because I was actually just trying to accomplish the task, and then afterwards I thought to myself, maybe I should have videotaped it, but I'm glad I didn't because we're really not allowed to videotape inside the facility. But I took pictures, just the close-up pictures, so that way you can just see the end result of what I did. All right, but in all honesty, I probably could have gotten the entire job done with just this tool without involving this. And the reason I carried this in my cargo pants pocket is because I really do like the one-hand action of the Victorinox Trekker for the main blade. I'm not crazy about the serrated, partial serration on the blade, but it is a very sharp knife, good for cutting cordage and whatever you want to cut. Again, not too crazy about the serrated end, but like I said, it gets the job done. I like the length of the blade. So overall, just for knife purposes and the saw, and for small prying tasks, I like this knife. But at the end of the day, if you really need to do heavy work where you need to pummel something, nail in, or pull out nails and stuff like that, you definitely need a pair of pliers. So yeah, I could possibly carry this as my main blade as well in my cargo pants, but this is slightly lighter, even with my peanut lighter on it, and it does feel less cumbersome. And everything is one-handed operation. Well, not everything, but the main blade is one-handed operation. So is the signal, but if you look at the signal, let me close this up a little bit here so I could just get to the access the blade. As you can see, the signal also has a serrated partial serration, but at the back end of the blade, compared to the Trekker, the serration is at the front end of the blade, and the blade on the Trekker is slightly longer, and it also has a spear point, whereas the the signal has a reverse tanto or drop point blade. I prefer actually the style and length of the Trekker far as for main blade use. I think this is a good blade for cutting. It's pretty sharp, and like I said, this is a good blade whenever I'm using the signal for heavier tasks. I can just use this to cut something real quick, okay? But whenever I need to do heavier tasks, I definitely would rely on the signal more than I would the Victorinox Trekker. If it goes beyond simple prying and cutting and sawing, and if I need a plier, I definitely would go with the signal. But in this situation, the signal would have completed all of the tasks that I needed to do without the help of the Victorinox Trekker. And in this task, the Victorinox Trekker could not have accomplished the entire task without the help of the signal. So in this task, salvaging nails from a pallet and repairing a table, the Leatherman signal wins. Okay? So stand by for a couple of pictures that I took, and thanks for watching. See ya.